Autoline Daily is brought to you by Siemens PLM Software, transforming the process of innovation.
Here are today's top headlines. Automakers face an economic 9/11. GM could face a management shakeup, and Chrysler stops production of its hybrids. Up next, we'll be back with the news behind the headlines. This is Autoline Daily for Friday, October 24, 2008, and now the news. The chief economist at the Center for Auto Safety says the auto industry is facing an economic 9/11. Sean McAlinden says the industry hasn't seen anything like the current business climate since 1933. The Detroit Free Press reports that GM will run out of cash in 12 months and Ford will run out in 18 months, and says McAlinden is calling for a $15 billion cash bailout. No loan here. Otherwise, he says, the industry is going to collapse, taking out 1.4 million jobs within a year. And since this collapse will cause suppliers to get hurt, Toyota, Honda, and Nissan will be affected as well. The continuing saga of the possible GM-Chrysler merger continues. The Wall Street Journal reports that Cerberus wants fresh management at the top of the new company if it goes through. The Journal also says Fritz Henderson, GM's chief operating officer, is the real deal maker in this venture. It should also be pointed out that Cerberus appointed Bob Nardelli to run Chrysler, so presumably they'd want him in the new company too. If this report's accurate, where does that leave GM CEO and chairman Rick Wagner? Yeah, where does that leave him? Speaking of Chrysler, it announced its Newark, Delaware plant will close 12 months earlier than announced before. The plant manufactures the Dodge Durango and Chrysler Aspen, including the hybrid versions of them. According to Ward, this means production of the hybrids will end just as they were arriving at dealerships. It also means Chrysler will not have another hybrid in its lineup until the 2010 Ram. Volkswagen is not revising its outlook for 2008 despite the industry slump due to the global financial crisis. CEO Martin Winterkorn says some production cuts are being made, but no drastic cuts are planned. Even though VW is on target this year, Winterkorn does admit next year could be very difficult for the industry. Ford is coming out with a version of GM's OnStar, or I should say its version of GM's OnStar. It's called 911 Assist, and Ward's reports it will debut this year on 12 different Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury vehicles. It'll even be available as a dealer-installed software upgrade for older cars that are equipped with Sync. 911 Assist is designed to contact emergency services if a car's airbags deploy. Unlike OnStar, though, 911 Assist is free. LED headlamps are probably going to become standard equipment in the next decade. Right now, they're only available on two cars, the Audi R8 and now the Cadillac Escalade Platinum. LEDs use far less power, produce brighter light, and are designed to last the life of the vehicle. And this makes them particularly attractive for electric cars when they come out. Coming up next, a preview of my interview with Mel Karmazin, the CEO of SiriusXM Radio. We'll be back right after this.
Siemens, transforming the process of innovation.
Mel Karmazin used to run CBS, then he ran Viacom, and now he's running the merged company that put XM and Sirius Radio together. He's my guest this week on Autoline Detroit, which is available right now at autolinedetroit.tv. I asked him what becomes a satellite radio now that BMW and Chrysler are offering an internet connection in the car, which means you'll soon be able to hear any radio station that you want over the internet. Here's what he had to say.
What it gets down to, which is great for the consumer, is that it's all about the content. So it's not about the technology, it's about the fact that there is just going to be a tremendous number of ways that people can access content when they're in their car, and particularly audio content. And I think it gets down to whose content is the best. And what people are listening to is not the pipe, they're listening to the content. And our content, we've invested an awful lot of money in content, and whether or not you want the NFL or NASCAR or Howard Stern or Oprah, you know, we believe that we have the best content on radio, and I don't think that any of your viewers are going to be able to come up with some content that's on the internet that has more brand name or more value than our content.
If you want to hear the whole interview with Mel Karmazin, jump over to www.AutolineDetroit.tv. And that's it for today's top news in the global automotive industry, but don't forget you can get podcasts, transcripts, and a whole lot more at our website, AutolineDaily.tv. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Visit our website for even more great content all week long. Autoline Extra, John's Journal, podcasts, and even more. So click over and get the inside view at AutolineDetroit.tv.